Property management is far from a 9-to-5 job. As a rental owner, do you know how to handle those inevitable after-hours maintenance calls? Well, today we discuss what constitutes an emergency, how to deal with after-hours calls, and what you can do to avoid potential issues. Hey everyone, it's Alyssa here from Bay Property Management Group, bringing you the latest rental industry news, tips, and advice for owners, investors, and tenants. So let's get started. Rental property maintenance is a task that requires a significant amount of time and coordination. Part of knowing what to do when issues arise is understanding what constitutes an emergency in the first place. Ultimately, tenants and landlords must use their best judgment, but a good rule of thumb is to remember that any maintenance issue that could potentially cause injury, serious property damage, or threatens health and safety is considered an emergency. Some examples of these maintenance concerns include broken water lines or frozen pipes, flooding, fire, a broken door or lock you can no longer secure, gas leaks, sewer backup and flooding, no heat in winter or no air conditioning in extreme heat conditions, electrical issues, water emergencies, a leaking roof, carbon monoxide detection, extended power outage, or an intruder break-in. However, when an issue does not pose an immediate threat to health, safety, or property, it is not an emergency. Items such as burnt-out light bulbs or fixtures, appliance malfunction, no hot water, no air conditioning if the outside temperature is below 90 degrees, or no heat if the outside temperature is above 50 degrees, noise complaints, parking disputes, or minor leaks should still be reported as maintenance requests, but it can wait until normal business hours. Not surprisingly, how a landlord handles requests from tenants is important. Not only does it ensure a healthy landlord-tenant relationship, but it's also essential to protecting the property. Let's examine some of the key factors to handling rental property emergency maintenance. Number 1, reachability. A landlord must be reachable in the event of an emergency. Ensure your tenants know the best way to reach you or your property manager so you can answer questions, provide critical instructions, or just be kept in the loop. Number 2, emergency services. In addition to police, fire, and utilities that the tenant can contact on their own, landlords need to have emergency services as well. For example, when a burst pipe is quickly flooding your rental, do you have a vendor to call 24/7? If not, gathering a short list of trusted vendors to rely on in an emergency is critical. Number 3, open communication. Once an emergency is reported to the proper authorities, landlords must remain in consistent communication with their tenants. Let them know the vendor's estimated arrival time or any additional instructions for protecting the property in the meantime. Number 4, landlord responsibilities. Landlords must differentiate between their immediate responsibility, what can wait, and what the tenant needs to handle. Remember, an emergency repair threatens the tenant's health or safety, or can potentially cause extensive property damage. Therefore, landlords must address these repairs immediately. Repairs not deemed an emergency can follow the standard practice of providing notice to enter the home and sending vendors during normal business hours. Number 5, answer the vital questions. When emergencies strike, quick and decisive action is critical. No matter the situation, try to get a handle on what is transpiring. Depending on the scope of the issue, some common questions may be, will the tenant require temporary housing? Who is liable for the event? Or does the tenant's insurance provide emergency assistance? The answers to these questions are vital to deciding the next steps. Regardless, remain in consistent and honest communication with your tenants. Number 6, a mindset of understanding. A tenant calling you in the middle of the night may be frustrated, scared, distraught, or any combination of emotions. While you may also be startled and upset at the news of potential damage, always maintain a professional tone. If they do disturb you with a non-emergency, calmly explain the further steps needed to submit a maintenance request. And number 7, documentation. When a maintenance request comes through the normal channel, there is a written record. But emergencies are often a more frantic series of events. To prevent disputes or confusion, landlords should still record the events under the tenant or property file. Make notes regarding the conversations had, repairs made, agreed upon next steps, or any necessary follow-up needed. Repairs are unavoidable in a rental property. Therefore, having a list of trusted vendor contacts is critical in the event of an emergency or everyday maintenance repair. When trying to find the right fit in a potential vendor, consider these factors. The vendor's reputation. The vendor should have a solid reputation within the community. Thanks to modern technology, owners can easily access public reviews, evaluate their online presence, and research referrals. However, no company can have a 100% satisfaction rate. So weigh any negative reviews carefully and see how they responded to them. Insurance coverages. If a vendor does not have the proper general liability and workers' compensation insurance, it is an immediate deal breaker. Vendors without the proper coverage could mean you take the fall for any legal, medical, or damage costs. Understanding the cost and timeline. We've all heard the saying, you get what you pay for, but it is especially true in rental properties. To get the most bang for your buck, request several estimates for larger jobs and weigh your options carefully. Any reputable vendor will be able to provide an estimated completion date and have the resources to meet that deadline. It may not be possible to anticipate an emergency, but it is possible to prepare just in case. Thus, creating an emergency maintenance protocol for your rental property is key. We suggest these 3 essential tips. Number 1, create a tenant welcome packet. Moving is a hectic time, and tenants may not remember every detail discussed at lease signing. Therefore, handing them a welcome packet containing all essential information is very helpful. Include an emergency contact sheet that they can post to their refrigerator, or even better, have it in the home already. Number 2, secure after-hours answering services. Landlords with larger portfolios simply cannot be in multiple places at once. An answering service can provide the coverage needed to handle multiple after-hours rental property emergency calls. Once established, the answering service receives the calls, evaluates the situations, determines next steps, dispatches the proper vendors, or advises tenants the issue will be addressed the following day. Lastly, number 3, hire property management professionals. Successful landlords know that the best step they can take to maximize their investment potential while addressing tenant issues is to hire a property management firm. The most important tip to follow when choosing a professional is to ask a ton of questions. Any reputable company will understand and alleviate any fears you may have regarding handing over your property's operations to a third party. If you are looking for a qualified property management firm in your local area, Bay Property Management Group may be able to help. We help clients throughout Maryland, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and Northern Virginia get the most from their investment while handling all day-to-day operations, including emergency maintenance. For more advice on a variety of other issues important to the rental industry, subscribe to the Bay Property Management Group channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exclusive content. Also, be sure to check out our blog via the link in the description below for tips on maintenance, along with everything from leasing to financing your first income property purchase. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.